Today we're going to be talking about the murder of Danielle Van Dam. Danielle Van Dam, September 22nd, 1994 through February 2002, was an American girl from the Silver Springs neighborhood of San Diego, California, who disappeared from her bedroom during the night on February 1st through the 2nd of 2002. Her body was found by search on February 27th in a remote area. Police suspect a neighbor, David Allen Westerfield, of the killing. He was arrested, tried, and convicted of kidnapping and first-degree murder. He was sentenced to death and is currently incarcerated at San Quentin State Prison. The crime: on the evening of February 1st, 2002, Danielle was Dam's mother, Brenda, and two girlfriends went out to a bar called Dad's in Podway. Danielle's father, Damon, stayed home with Danielle and her two brothers. Damon put Danielle to bed around 10:30 p.m. and she fell. Damon put Danielle to bed at 10:30 p.m. and she fell asleep. Damon also fell asleep until his wife returned home at around 2 a.m. with 4 of her friends. Brenda noticed a light on the home security alarm system was flashing and discovered that the side door to the gate was open. The six chatted for approximately half an hour. Then Brenda's friends went home. Damon and Brenda went to sleep, believing that their daughter was sleeping in her room. Damon and Brenda went to sleep, believing their daughter was sleeping. About an hour, Damon awoke and noticed that an alarm light was flashing. He found the sliding glass door leading to the backyard open, so he closed it. The next morning, Danielle was missing, and her parents called the police at 9:39 a.m. Danielle became the subject of search efforts, with hundreds of volunteers searching deserts, highways, and remote areas for weeks. The Laura Recovery Center assisted in organizing the search, and Danielle Recovery Center was set up in a real estate office in Poway to coordinate the search. Finally, on February 27th, 2 searchers found her nude, potentially decomposed body near a trail in DEHESA, California, an unincorporated east of San Diego. Some searchers had decided to search the Hash Road area near the trail after detectives discovered traces of Danielle's blood in David Westerfield's motor home. Because Diaz Road was a possible route Westerfield could have taken to the desert. Because of the coordination of the body, the coroner was unable to determine the cause of death or whether she was sexually assaulted and had to use dental records to confirm her identity. David Westerfield. Law enforcement officials interviewed the Van Dam's neighbors the Saturday morning of Danielle's disappearance and discovered that one neighbor, David Westerfield, was not at home. Westerfield, born February 25th, 1952, was self-employed as an engineer, 49 years old at the time, and held several patents for medical devices. Patents for medical devices. He graduated from James Madison High School. He had no criminal record at the time and was a divorced father of 2 college students. He graduated from James Madison High School. He had no criminal record at the time and was a divorced father of 2 college students. He lived 2 houses away from the Van Dams. Hang on. Okay. From the Van Dams, and owned a luxury motor home. About 3 days before Danielle disappeared, Danielle and Brenda had sold Girl Scout cookies to Westerfield, who invited them into his home. Brenda asked to see his kitchen because she had noticed it being remodeled when they had sold cookies to him the year before. On Saturday morning, Westerfield fetched his motorhome from another part of town, stocked it with supplies, and left at 9:50 minutes before Brenda called 911. To report Danielle missing. Westerfield later told police that he had driven around the desert and the beach in his motorhome and had stayed at the beach campground. This was later confirmed by witnesses. The phone records, gas receipts, and credit card records. Westerfield later confirmed by and credit card records. Westerfield said he had intended to go to the desert, but realized he had forgotten his wallet, so instead he drove to the campground at Silver Sand State Beach. He paid in advance for a 2-night stay. However, he decided the weather was too cold, so he returned home to look for his wallet. After he went to the desert. While at the campground, he drove to the desert where he got stuck in the sand on Sunday morning, about a quarter mile off the road, and needed help from a tow truck to get free. On his way home Monday morning, a sleepy-looking and bared-faced Westerfield stopped at his regular dry cleaners and dropped off two comforters, 2 pillow covers, and a jacket that would later yield traces of Danielle's blood. When law enforcement first interviewed Westerfield, he did not mention going to the desert, the dry cleaners, although he detailed almost every other stop on his outing. Law enforcement placed Westerfield under 24-hour surveillance. On February 4th, nothing that he had given his RV a cleaning when he returned home and his trip, although he maintained it was normal for him to do so. His motorhome, SUV, and other property was impounded for testing on February 5th. Westerfield stated that he did not know where Danielle was, but said he had been at the same bar that Brenda had been to Friday night, which Brenda confirmed. On February 22nd, police arrested Westerfield for Danielle's kidnapping after 2 small stains of her blood were found on his clothing and his motor home. Danielle, practically decomposed body, was found February 27th. Westerfield pleaded not guilty and went on trial June 4th, 2002 in pretrial motion. Westerfield law enforcement moved to his statement to police, including changing that he was unfairly interrogated for more than 9 hours by detectives who ignored his repeat requests to call a lawyer, take a shower, and eat, sleep. In the end, the 2 officers against whom the defense directed their complaint did not testify. The forensic evidence presented by the prosecution included Danielle's bloodstains on Westerfield's jacket and on the floor of his motor home, Danielle's fingerprints in the motor home, hair from the Van Dam family dog on Westerfield motor home, motorhome bed comforter, hair consent with Danielle on the sheet of his bed, and matching acrylic fibers found on Danielle's body and in Westerfield's home. Among other evidence, one witness testified that she had left a side door in the garage unlocked, and prosecutor Jeff Dusk theorized that Westerfield might have entered his way. He emphasized, however, that the prosecution did not have the burden to demonstrate how the kidnapping was done, only that it was done. During the trial, Westerfield's lawyer suggested that the police were in a rush to solve the case and declined to consider other suspects. They suggested that the child pornography found on Westerfield's computer was downloaded by Westerfield's son, Neil, who was 18 at the time of the murder. In testimony, Neil denies this. Part of Westerfield's defense focuses on the lifestyle of Danielle Van Dam's parents, who, they argue, had an open marriage, were swingers, and smoked marijuana in their garage regularly. The defense suggested that because of this lifestyle, there might have been other people in the home that night. To establish an alibi for Westerfield, the defense called 3 entomologists who testified that insect first colonized Danielle's body sometime in the mid February, long after Westerfield had been under police surveillance. The prosecution entomologist testified that Danielle's body could have been colonized as early as February 2nd. Closing argument, Fenmel argued that no evidence of Westerfield was found in the Van Dam residence or at the body dump site, that a forensic hair found under Danielle's body was not his. In rebuttal, Desk argued that it is possible for an intruder to enter a home without leaving trace of evidence, especially if he or she is taking appropriate precaution. Controversially, Desk argued the nature and volume of Danielle's trace evidence in Westerfield's home and motorhome and his jacket allowed no reasonable explanation other than guilt. The trial lasted 2 months and concluded on August 8th. On August 21st, the jury found Westerfield guilty of first-degree murder, kidnapping, and possession of child pornography. During the penalty phase of the trial, Westerfield's 19-year-old niece testified that she was 7 years old. Her uncle entered his daughter's bedroom, where the niece was spending the night with her parents while attending a party, and woke up to find him rubbing her teeth. Why would you rub? Okay. I'm just gonna keep reading and then question my brain after this. She said she bit his finger as hard as she could, then went downstairs to tell her mother. Westerfield was questioned about the incident at the time by his sister-in-law, where he explained he had entered the bedroom to check on the children and was trying to comfort her. The incident was then forgotten. The penalty phase ended on September 16th when the jury re-ended a verdict of death against Westerfield. On January 2003, Judge William Mudd sentenced Westerfield to death. Westerfield is currently incarcerated at San Quentin State Prison while his appeal is pending. Because of the continuing 2006 motion of extinction of California and July 2014 ruling on the unconsensual of the death penalty in California, it is not known when or if Westerfield will face execution. The Van Dams sued Westerfield, but the case was settled out of court. The Van Dams were awarded $416,000 for several insurance companies who sued Westerfield's home, SUV, and motorhome. The settlement also prevents Westerfield from ever profiting for his crime. When the trial was over, the media, quoting unnamed police sources, reported that Westerfield's lawyers were just minutes away from negotiating a plea bargain when a group of private citizens searched organizations by the Lauren Recovery Center found Danielle's body. According to these reports, under the deal, Westerfield would have taken police to the site where her body was located in exchange for a sentence of life without parole. Both the prosecution and the defense declined to the site where her declined to comment on these reports. Many people, including Fox News commentary Bill O'Ryan, expressed outrage at the revelation, claiming that Westerfield's enormity? I am so bad. Okay. And okay. An attorney misled the jury to by posing an unknown compartment. Bill O'Reilly expressed outrage at the claiming, even though their client said he knew the location of the body. However, legal speculists pointed out the defense attorney are obligated to mount a various defense regardless of their own opinion of their client's guilt or innocence. In the months following the end of the trial, autotape of Westerfield began interviewed were released to the media. During his first interview, he had heard to ask an officer to leave your gun here for a minute, and a seemingly suggestion that he would like to commit suicide. In one police interview, he tells the investigators that he does not feel emotionally stable. In another interview, he is told that he failed a polygraph test. Westerfield says he wants a retest and that he was not involved in Danielle's disappearance. In late 2003, San Diego police received a letter from an outside party confessing to Danielle's murder. The author claimed to be James Selby, a man accused of vicious sex-related crimes in 5 states, including San Diego area. Both police and Dusk read the letter and deemed it non-credited. However, Dusk forwarded the letter to the office of Westerfield's attorney. Oh boy, this can't be good. Stephen Feldman, who declined to comment. Selby was also claimed responsible for slaying John Bonet Ramsey. I've talked about this case. I'll have to put the links to it in my committed suicide while awaiting sentencing in Arizona in 2004. So it's November 22nd, 2004. An episode of Animal Witnesses, an animal-based forensics series on the US TV network Animal Planet, was based on the belief that hair coincided with Danielle's dog, which were found in Westerfield's laundry in his RV and on his comforter at the dry cleaners. First got onto her PJs when she cuddled with the dog, and then were carried onto the PJs to his house and RV in the accountants with Logan's exchange principle. An overpass on Interstate 8 in El Caballero has been named Danielle Van Dam's Memorial Overpass. It is near the place where her body was found. The years after the murder, have led to increased levels of crime witnesses awareness in San Diego neighborhoods, as well as the institution of funds and benefits made in her honor. Her family still lives in Southern California. They have formed a Danielle Legacy Foundation, which works to promote voluminous that will initiate positive change that will put our children's safety first. And that is it. I hope you all enjoyed this.